YouTube subscribers. Are you ready for part 3 and hopefully the last part? If something comes up, it might be 4 parts. I'm not sure. We're getting some bad weather coming in on the Jersey Shore, so a lot of my figures are in the house and stuff. So, and TVs are all covered up and everything. So don't have all my cast of characters behind me today. Just my jet stuff or whatever. But I got to bring everything in little by little. I don't want to get anything ruined. Eventually, like I said, I'm going to get a cover, pop-up tent, and cover all this beautiful stuff up. All right, part 3. Maybe the final part, or maybe we leave with a cliffhanger like I did in part 2 and everything. I'm feeling a little better. I'm a little better in the mornings, but as the day goes on, I get tired and stuff. So let's see how far I can go with this. This is a crazy story. I'll recap a little bit for those that didn't see part 1 and 2. I basically, how I met my son's mother. And also, I like this shout out. Anybody out there that's like a screenwriter or anybody looking to make a good movie, watch this and maybe we can collaborate and make a movie about it, like a Lifetime movie or something. I love Lifetime movies. And I always think about, I already know who would play me, who would play the main characters. Now, obviously, Sylvester Stallone would play me, and they can digitally enhance him to make him look younger like they did with The Irishman. So they digitally enhance an AI Sylvester Stallone to play yours truly. And my parents in the movie, I would love to have Jack Nicholson play my father and Meryl Streep play my mother. You know, nothing but the best right there, right? Two of the greatest actors of all time to play my parents. That would be funny. And to play my son's mother, I'm thinking maybe Charlize Theron, who played in Monster. Maybe her, or actually my ex-girlfriend Paula, who's kind of in this story too in a way, because I was dating Paula and had cheated on Paula with my son's mother, who, this is only the beginning of the story where how we met. This is a crazy twist and turn type of thing. But Paula is involved in the story because I was dating Paula at the time when I met my son's mother. And so Charlize Theron would play Paula in the movie, because she looks like her a little bit. And she always said that's like one of her favorite actresses too, that Paula liked. Am I saying her right name? Charlize Theron, who played in Monster. She would play Paula. I would say my son's mother, maybe we go with like the one that played in Friends, Jennifer Aniston could play her, or although she was blonde, you can make her hair blonde. Yeah, Jennifer Aniston will play my son's mother. Like I said, the one and only Sylvester Stallone would have to play me. You know, you got to digitally enhance my parents, which would be Jack Nicholson and Meryl Streep. You got to make them look younger like they did in Casino, not Casino, when they did in The Irishman. They got technology today, so just a little bit of fun. It's never going to get picked up, but that's the things I think about, you know, in my crazy fucking demented mind. Well, anyway, so where I left off was I got laid off from my favorite company, High Rise Electric, and if I didn't get laid off from High Rise Electric, I never meet my son's mother, you know, in the bar as a barmaid a few days later. So now where I left off is we go on a date. I take her out to go eat or whatever. We have a nice date and everything. And, you know, we talk and everything. I kind of liked her and stuff. I never met her in my life. Never would have known her if I didn't get laid off from High Rise, right, how I met her. So we went out to eat. I think we went to Outback. We had dinner and stuff. And believe it or not, nothing happened. And I took her home and said goodbye to her, and nothing happened. And I felt bad. I didn't tell her I had a girlfriend at the time, but, you know, I knew in my heart to heart what I was doing was wrong. And I did really like Paula. Paula lived in Staten Island, and she was always coming to my house and stuff. So I did choose Paula over my son's mother in the first time I met her in March of 2003. So I, like I said, I had a good date and everything. Now, I don't see her the rest. I only went out with her one time and everything. I didn't see her again for exactly a year later, of all things. Now, this story goes all over the place. Try to stay with me. We are March 2003. I am laid off from work. I went on a date with my son's mother, one date, and that was it. And I did not see her the rest of 2003. I was dating Paula in 2003. Now, the year 2003 for me was very, very dysfunctional year. My alcoholism was at an all-time out of control high where I was drinking every fucking day. Every day I was drinking. I was a mess. I wasn't going to the gym and everything. I was laid off. I'm going to get into it where, ironically, where I end up next. This all ties in together. My drinking was out of control. March, drinking out of control. April, drinking out of control. Paula, too, had a very severe alcohol problem and a snow problem. Okay, Paula was very religious, and now she lives her life sober and clean, and she's very into the Lord and everything. She's an evangelicist, and she's married, has a beautiful family. I've seen it on Facebook. I do not talk to her anymore, but my love and respect goes out to her family. She lives a really good, clean life now. She has a wonderful husband, beautiful grown kids and everything, and she's doing very well on Staten Island. So, everything, God bless her that she changed her life for the better, and so did I. So, but in 2003, we were very dysfunctional. We were drinking all the time. We were gambling all the time, going to Atlantic City, spending crazy money, going on trips. We were out of control. Bad fights, alcoholism fights, shit getting thrown. Absolute, complete fucking nightmare. Things I don't even want to discuss about it. This is about how I met my son's mother, but I also want to say how it led up and where I was in my alcoholism. Now, when I returned to work, subscribers, if you all follow my Building C stories, of all places, after being in High Rise Electric for 8 years, so you have Forest Electric was the very first company I ever was in my career with that particular foreman that I met on day one and become a father figure to me, right? And then High Rise 8 years, but in between there was some other stuff in there. But of all places, the union tells me report to Brooklyn to the it was a Metro Tech. It was the Brooklyn County Jail. We actually built the jail in Brooklyn. I don't know if I'm saying it right. I don't know if that's a county jail or it's the one where Mike Tyson was there signing autographs and he got into a fight with a couple of fans and knocked them the fuck out. Sick fuck Mike Tyson. So it was the Brooklyn Municipal Court or whatever it was. It was a jail and a court. So we were building that, and of all places, who do I report to work to? Forest Electric report. I'm going to say his name. His name was Joe Feiner. He was the greatest foreman I ever worked for in my career. He was the foreman I first started in Building C with. He had a saying, and nothing could be finer than to work for Joe Feiner. That was a saying. Great man, Joe Feiner. I'll share stories about him in other channels, but of all places, after 8 years in High Rise, right, where I became a great journeyman and everything, and I learned the business, who do I report to? The very first foreman in 1987 that I started my career with, Joe Feiner. You can't make this shit up. So my 2003 year, with all my alcoholism, and then lead to the return and the the reunion of me and the great Joe Feiner, my very first foreman that had the 40th birthday party. I told that story, right, where I met him and everything. I'm getting I should put this phone in fucking focus mode, but, people call and stuff. I can't do that this time of the day. So I report to the Brooklyn courthouse, I think it was called, and Joe Feiner ran that job with Forest Electric. Now, it's kind of funny in a way. When I knew I was going to see him, I thought I'd get this great, holy shit, he'd take care of me, be like the old days and everything. He kind of was a little standoffish towards me. Like, I don't know why. We did have a little bit of a falling out through the years, and we kind of made up before that happened, but he really wasn't the same to me. He wasn't as warm and kind, and he just kind of like made it a professional business, Frankie, I know we have a past. I kind of was disappointed in him because, it's the business. You know, not everybody's going to be your friend all the time, but I thought this guy, Jesus, everything we went through in our careers, that he would just open his arms and hug me. And, you know, he really didn't act like that, you know. And a lot of his foremans I knew back in those days because he kept that crew together. And I might have been one of that crew too if I didn't do something. I kind of went behind his back. It's a long story, but I had to think of me first over anything, you know. So he wasn't as warm and responsive to me that I thought he would be. It was more of a business relationship, you know, and everything. But he did see in me that I wasn't looking good. So one day, this is like I think I got to the company around April or May, maybe even June, May or June of 2003. I just wanted to give you a little bit how bad 2003 for me is, and then we're going to get into how I would meet my son's mother again, and then we go from there. Okay, I gotta build a story up with auction shit just to see how crazy this was, but I also want to tell subscribers, you know, about my alcoholism and my drug problem that was out of control in 2003, which will lead up to the story or whatever. So my alcoholism is out of control. Okay, so one day, Joe, after work, I was doing something and he was doing the walk around, you know, looking at the job and what's being done. And I had made a mistake. I screwed up something because, like I said, I wasn't on top of my game. My alcoholism was through the roof. I was drinking every day. It was absolutely a nightmare. Now, I only drank Coors Light, but I was drinking between a 12-pack and an 18-pack 7 days a week. It became it took over my life. Now, I didn't think I had a problem because I always said it was Coors Light. I was becoming a full-fledged alcoholic. Now, I know I was an alcoholic my whole life. I started drinking at the age of like 12, 13, which is terrible. I couldn't even fathom that. But that's a whole nother thing. So one day, Joe's walking around the job, and I screwed something up. Now, the sub-foreman dealt with it, you know, and everything. It wasn't a major mistake, but it was a fuck-up. And I fixed it or whatever. So Joe was doing a walk around, and he goes, Frankie. You know, I used to always like, Frankie, come in my office. We got to talk. And it's like, I was there maybe a month or two, and I'm like, maybe now he's going to be nice to me or something. Maybe he'll be back to the old Joe that he was back in the day, in the good old days, you know. He totally wasn't the same person to me there, you know. And that bothered me a lot. Kind of really made me even drink more. I felt like, wow, did I do something to this guy? Which I did, but it was just a business decision I made. I didn't do anything to fuck him over or nothing. I just had to look out for myself, but I don't want to get into that. But it did piss him off, and it did fuck up the relationship for a little while. So I go in his office, and he goes, sit down. He's like, Frankie, you look like shit. Do you know that? And I'm like, there's my boy Joe. What's up, Joe? I'm glad I'm working for you again. Cut the bullshit. How old are you now? At the time, I was 2003. What was I? I turned 40 in 07. I was 34. I was 34 years old. So he knew me as that 19-year-old kid that walked in that very first day. And I looked good back then, you know. I was heavy. My face had that alcohol bloat, all red and fucking and blushed. I was not working out anymore. I didn't work out from 2002 to 2004. I went 2 years without working out. So this will lead to that too, when I started working out again. So he sits me down and he says, man, you look like shit. You know, how old are you now? He's like, you married? You got kids? You got a girlfriend and something? I said, I have a girlfriend, you know. I was like, oh, that's nice and everything, right? What's the matter with you, Frankie? You just don't look right. Hitting the sauce hard. He knew right away. I said, I drink Coors Light, Joe. You know that. Nah, you look like shit. You're drinking and you smell like fucking alcohol. And you're drinking on my job, right? I said, Joe, come on, we all did that shit. He's like, nah, things are changing now, you know. You got to grow the fuck up. You know what I mean? You're a good fucking kid. Now you're not a kid anymore. You're an adult man now. You got to grow the fuck up and straighten your life out. You look like shit. You look terrible. I'm like, all right, thanks, Joe. Is that it? You know, it's like, I'm fucking still talking to you. Get your life fucking straightened out. Get married. Have a kid or something. You grow the fuck up. You know. So he was giving me the riot act, and like a father would give a son. But he had his way of saying it, like a father does to his son sometimes. You got to be fucking tough love, right? So I leave his office, and I'm thinking, I know he's right, but I can't stop drinking. So as 2003 rolls along, we get to Halloween 2003. Okay? My drinking is through the fucking roof. I didn't take Joe's advice. I was still on the job, but not for long, okay? So it's Halloween 2003. Me and Paul had a little, I kind of broke up with her. We'd always break up. You know how it is. You break up for a week, you get back and forth. I couldn't take her too much because she was out of control. I was out of control. And I just wanted to party. I didn't want a girlfriend. And I know when I was with her, I'd just be partying anyway. I'd rather party with other people. It was a fucking mess. Here I am, 4 years old, and I'm fucking, losing control of my life. I'm a mess. So what happens is, it's a Saturday, I believe. Halloween was on a Saturday that year, either Friday or a Saturday. I think it was a Saturday. It was a Saturday. I know for a fact because the next day the Jets played the Giants. So Saturday morning, my buddy calls me to hang out. He had like a golf thing or something, some golf fucking toy. I don't play golf, but I like to drink. So I go golfing with him and everything. And I have a few beers and stuff, of course, more than golf. I come home to take a shower because we were going to go out that night. All of a sudden, Paul was at my house. She went in through the window. People used to go through I used to have a little beach house and people would go through the window. It was a fucking free-for-all. It was crazy. All different people partying who didn't know what house they were in. It was a fucking mess. So she's there and she's all fucked up. Probably hit a bit, the night before she was on. I was like, what are you doing here? We broke up, blah, blah, blah. I was like, I'm not going to throw her out. She's here. Now I say to myself, she had a nice car. She had a Honda Civic at the time. And I had a Jeep. But I wanted to ask her if I could use her car to go out with my friend because her car wasn't my Jeep kind of stood out. It was kind of like flashy. I knew I was going to drink and I didn't want to get a DWI. So I took her car. Well, she slept away the day. So I go out with my friend and we go bar hopping. We get shit-faced. Absolutely fucking shit-faced. Smoke weed, drink. He did his snow. Complete fucking atrocity of a booze fest. So I'm all fucked up, right? He tells me, this is Halloween 2003. He tells me, why don't you stay over? You're wasted. I was like, nah, I got to go home. Paul is there or whatever and everything. I just got to go. I can't leave her alone. She's all fucked up. I got to go take care of her and shit. He's like, you're crazy, bro. You're going to get a fucking DWI. You're wasted. I can't have you drive. You're my friend. I'm like, don't worry about it. I'm fine. He did the right thing by it. Listen to him. I leave his house and start to drive home, right? I'm driving home. I see the light turn red. Now I'm drunk, so your vision, you're thinking that you're further away than you're really closer. So to me, I thought I had plenty of time to slow down. You're drunk. It's bad to drink and drive. Your vision is not it's impaired. It's a horrible fucking thing to do. So as I think I got plenty of room to slow down the car, and I'm doing like 40, the cell phone rings. I go to answer it. As I pick it up and answer it, what do you think happens to me? I crash head first into a black Escalade SUV. Head first. Bam. Bam! Major car accident. I crash going about 35 miles an hour, 40 miles an hour. Like I said, I go to pick up the phone. My vision is impaired from being absolutely wasted. I crash head first in the back of a black Cadillac Escalade. My face, even though thank God I have my seatbelt on, or there is no FGF Productions, I'm dead. I died once again on October 31st, 2003. I had my seatbelt on. Now, when I drive, I'm very short. I always have to keep the seat close to the steering wheel. Paula used to make fun of me because Paula was 5'10", ex-model, and she'd have the seat all the way back, where I couldn't even reach the fucking gas pedal. It was funny how tall she was when we'd go out. It was actually comical, but I didn't give a fuck. So I have the seat all the way up. I have my seatbelt on, but being that my seat is always all the way up, which is probably dangerous, my face hits the steering wheel. No airbag. Goes off. I bust my face up like I got punched by Mike Tyson. I remember kind of like for a second blacking out, but the fear of what had just happened, and when you get into an accident, it's like slow motion. It's absolutely horrifying. Probably the worst accident. I've been in a few major car accidents in my life that I could have been dead a few times, but this was the worst one. Now, I thought I blacked out, and I think I did. I come to full of blood. I see the Cadillac Escalade take off. It literally peeled off and took off. Now, there was a shopping center to the right of me. Somehow, I tried to drive to find that car because, God forbid, anybody was injured in there. It was a family with children. I'm thinking, oh my God, God forbid there's a baby in there. I'm thinking, you know, as I'm wasted, I'm thinking, oh my God, if I killed a baby or something, my life is over. I have to find that car. I try to find the car. The car is gone. Gone. It took off. In essence, by it taking off, probably saved me going to jail for a long time because it was a Saturday night. They probably were up to no good. Black, you know, I don't want to give a label to anybody, but a black Cadillac Escalade on a Saturday night, tinted windows, that I do remember, tinted windows, kind of stopped and then peeled off. They were up to no good. There was no family in that car. There was no kids in that car. They were most likely people that do a certain thing on Saturday nights. So they take off. I tried to do the right thing and see what was going on. I'm all fucked up. I'm drunk. I don't even know what damage it did to my face. I know there's blood every fucking where, even with my seatbelt on because I'm so close to the wheel. Now I'm in the shopping center. I'm fucked. The fucking hood of the car flew off. Thank God it didn't hit nobody because it wasn't that many people on the road. It was late. The fucking hood of the car flew off. The windshield fucking shattered, right? I got no hood on the fucking car. The windshield shattered. God knows what I did to the front of the car. I get out of the car and look, the car is completely fucked up. Totaled. Now, do I stay in the shopping center and call my father up? I'm all fucked up. I don't know what to do. Me like a jerk off. I drive the car to a gas station. Figure I could pull into a gas station. I needed a pack of cigarettes. I'm drunk. I'm all fucking disheveled. I had no cigarettes. I go in the deli like a moron. I'm all full of blood. The fucking guy's looking at me, right? I know what he's gonna do. I just need a cigarette because I'm not thinking straight. I know what's gonna happen. I fucking go out and smoke. Next thing you know, you see 2 cop cars pull into the thing like it's fucking a drug raid. I know I'm fucking busted. So what I do is when the cops come out of the car, I start to approach the cops, explain to them that I got into a car accident, right? Check this out. You know, I want to talk to them that, you know, the guy, I hit a car, he drove off. Maybe I can, you know, get away with it somehow by being very caring about what happened. All of a sudden, the one cop goes, stand back. Back up. Nobody comes up to me like that. Back up. Now, he's got his fucking hand on the fucking gun. Back up. Obviously, you have been drinking. I'm like, I'm going to fucking jail for life. I'm going to jail. I'm fucked, right? So he says, stand back. What happened? What just happened? I don't eat this fucking bullshit. This is my last shift. My wife's home, and she's got hot fucking dinner for me. I think it's stuffed shells. I don't eat this bullshit. Explain to me what the fuck happened. I'm in no fucking mood and I'm hungry. Now all of a sudden this cop goes from he's got his hand here, I'm thinking I'm going to jail, to into fucking he's got dinner at fucking home waiting for him. I'm like, very interesting. Maybe I could talk my way out of this fucking shit. I said, sir, officer, I was driving home and everything. My phone rang. I ran into a black SUV Escalade, and the car took off. They're probably drug dealers, blah, 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 blah. He's like, shut the fuck up. He sends the other cop home. All right, fucking Harry or whatever. I'm going to go home for the night. Enjoy your fucking dinner. Get rid of this fucking clown. See what's going on. Are you fucking kidding me? This happens today. There's 20 cop cars. I'm away for fucking 10 years. It's over. This fucking guy wants to go home and have fucking dinner. Score. So he starts talking to me a little bit more. He's like, you got someone to call? You got a tow truck? Get this fucking thing out of here. He's not even asking me to do a fucking breathalyzer test. He just wants this shit to fucking end. You can't make it. Thank you, God, I'm saying to myself, of all people. I said, sir, let me call my father up. You know, he'll come down here. He'll help me out and everything. I fucked up. He said, yeah, you fucked up. You fucking nut. You shouldn't be drinking and driving. You know that's fucking bad. You're lucky I'm hungry tonight or I'll fucking arrest your ass. The fucking guy was out of his mind. What a fucking great cop. So what happens is, my uncle was over. I didn't know that. My uncle Frank, may he rest in peace, the electrician that worked on 9/11. I shared his story that he passed away of liver cancer and he never fucking even drank. So he came down. He could talk, my Uncle Frank. So he came down. My father was pissed at me. My uncle was, you know, doing the right thing, talking to the cop in a nice way. They were bullshitting, making the cop laugh and everything. My uncle was a great man. He could bullshit with fucking anybody. He was the best. Fucking Frankie, Uncle Frankie the Hat. The best, an all-time legend. So I talked to the cops and everything, and my father's like, I'm going to kill you when we get a moment alone. You know, my dad's bark was worse than his bite, that kind of thing. You know, he had to be tough in front of my uncle. You know, you're fucking, I've had it with you. Something's got to be done with you. It's fucking, it's over. You know, yeah, you need help. You're a fucking mess and shit. So, all right, so my uncle's talking to the cop. They wrap up the conversation. I find a tow truck company. My uncle does. Thank God my uncle does everything for me. He's a great man. And my father. We get the car towed out. Now my face is all fucked up. The nice guy in the deli let me go in the bathroom. I cleaned up my face. I probably broke my fucking nose. I didn't go to the hospital and everything. The shock of it, I wasn't in pain till afterwards. So my uncle drove me home. My father wanted nothing to do with me. He was fucking pissed off. So my uncle was like, what the fuck did you do, bro? You know, like, you know, come on, man. You're disappointing your father. You're hitting it hard, right? I said, yeah, I'm being fucking, I got to get help. You know, this would lead to my first rehab. So what happened was, he drops me off to my house. I tell Paula what happened. Paula was the kind of girl where, like, you know, we're fucking both crazy. We got to start going to church more and all this. You know, thank God you're okay. You know, you shouldn't have went out. You know, I'm no angel, you're no angel. We're both so dysfunctional. We have this big speech and everything. And we actually did start going to church after that, which I enjoyed. It was very peaceful when you do that. So what happened was, that weekend, of course, that was the Jet-Giant game the next day, and I think I won money. The Jets beat the Giants that day. I think I won $1,000. Who gives a fuck? I ruined her car. I had to get her another car. It's a whole other story and everything. And, you know, we didn't break up over that. She knew we were fucking both headed to death, the way we were both going and everything. So what happens is, that Monday, I work. Of course, when I go into work, Joe Feiner sees my face. He's like, Jesus fucking Christ, in my fucking office now. And I'm like, oh boy. I'm either getting fired. I know he wouldn't fuck me over like that. I hope not. But this is my time to talk to him man to man and admit that I have a problem. I'm like, Joe, before you start yelling at me, what the fuck did you do now, you fucking idiot? I'm like, listen, I need help, bro. I need help, Joe. I'm drinking too much. I know the union has a rehab. can you do me a favor and get me to rehab? I don't know what to say to you. I really fucked up bad this time. He's like, now you're fucking thinking. Finally, that dumb brain of yours, Frankie. That's a good idea. Let's call right the fuck now. Let him come get you off this fucking job so you get embarrassed. That's embarrassed. You learn a lesson that way, that the guys see you get taken off the job and fucking rehab, Frankie. You fucking need to do that. Learn a fucking lesson and get embarrassed. I'm like, Joe, I don't want to do her like that. Come on, bro. Don't do that to me like that. Let me just, let me fucking either get a hotel or something, or let me go home and let them pick me up at my house. I don't want them to, come on, you can't do this to me. It's embarrassing. He's like, all right. You better go home, and you better call me when you get in that fucking door. And the fucking guys, I'm calling the rehab now. Get the fuck home, and they're picking you fucking up as soon as you get home. And lo and behold, I called my parents up. I said, I'm going to rehab. My mom, what? Where are you going? What the fuck? What is this now? What? Jesus Christ, you're killing me. My God. Oh, my God. I need help. I don't, you can't make it up. So that was my first rehab. My first rehab right after that. Went right to Cohunxin, New York, upstate New York. Union has a rehab. Not going to get into that. I come out of rehab, I go back to work, I feel good, started kind of working out again in rehab and everything, got a clear head, started going to church with Paula. We had a little bit of a period there where things were calm and everything was fucking okie dokie and shit. So now, I don't want to go all over the fucking place, let's get to the point, Flex. Now, when I came back to work, I did go back to that job, but what happened was Joe went to another job and they transferred me to the Bloomberg building, which everything leads up for a reason, right? I go to the Bloomberg building and I work for a great foreman there, a very compassionate foreman. And who do I run into? One of my friends, a good friend of mine that I know, outside of work and everything. He's a very good friend of mine. We both knew we were in the union, but we never really were on a job together in all our years. He was a little older than me. So he's on the same job. We're in different crews, but we're bullshitting and everything. He sees that I look better. You look pretty good and everything. I had that look when you're clean and you come out. You have that like fresh. They call it the pink cloud look or whatever. I felt really good. I finally felt really fucking great. So as we're working and talking, he tells me. Now this is late 2003. Kind of near the end of 2003. He tells me that he wants to set me up with somebody, right? I'm like, oh, I don't know, Mike or whatever. I got a girlfriend or whatever, but it's kind of like we were kind of on the rocks. We were living a clean life, but once we got like that, we really didn't have any fun anymore. It was kind of getting to the fucking, it kind of sucked in a way, but that's, whatever. So I said, I kind of have a girlfriend, but I don't know how long it's gonna go on for. It's really, and everything. I tell him what's going on with me. I said, I'm not really ready to do this, and I tell him, is she good looking at least? He's like, yeah, she's pretty attractive, and I said, how do you know? He's like, oh, it's my wife's friend, good friend. So I start asking him questions about her, and as he's telling me this, oh yeah, she cuts hair, she barmaids, she's a little crazy, but she's good for you. I'm like, really? Barmaid, cuts hair, By any chance, you know her name? Oh yeah, it's Jennifer. No, I don't know her. Very interesting, right, subscribers? No, I don't know her. I'll think about it. So I put it in the back of my head and I go, Jennifer. So I put it in the back of my head, right? And I leave it there for the rest of 2003. I would eventually break up with Paula Christmas time 2003, and this would be the final time. I realized I couldn't take it anymore, and I know it's bad to do it at Christmas time. When I do shit, I do it on impulsive, and I did it on a phone call. I spoke to her over the phone and did it, and she cried, and And that was that. So, let's go now, fast forward. A year later, well, I went out with my son's mother for the first time in March 2003. In March of 2004, subscribers, I go on what you want to call a blind date because my friend set me up with her almost a year to the day, not knowing that we had a previous date a year before. So we go to Houlihan's around the same time, March 2004, almost to the day, if you think about it. Almost a year to the day. And I meet her on a blind date. She knew it was me because when Mike described me, obviously I knew it was her when Mike told me, so it really wasn't. It was kind of funny, and it was kind of cool that we got reunited almost a year to the day. So we had the date and everything, and we had a good time or whatever, and I would go out with her on 2 dates, okay, subscribers? I would go out with her 2 dates, and she didn't like me. Now, she was a little crazy, I was crazy, and I was sober at the time. So I was even crazier sober because I was losing my mind. So what happened was we had a couple of dates. She said to me, like most women do with me, you're too much, you talk too much, you're annoying, you say stupid shit, blah, blah, blah. I don't give a flying fuck. That was it. 2004, that was it. Okay? Now, I would go on in the summer of 2004, and I would relapse. I would hook up with a girl down the shore, and I was right back to drinking and doing drugs and partying and fucking and going and gambling, and so much for sobriety, subscribers. I didn't stay sober too long. So I'm not going to get into anything like that. Now what we're going to do is this. We are going to fast forward now. Now keep in mind, I got laid off from High Rise in March of 2003. If I don't get laid off, I don't meet her. I meet her then. A year later, I'm set up on a supposedly blind date of all things that I got transferred to that job, ran into my friend. This is all, can't make this shit up, right? I have a couple of dates, and that would be it. That would be it. Okay? Let's fast forward now to when Facebook started. In 2009, I believe, is when Facebook started. When Facebook first started, I got in touch with a lot of friends and everything. A lot of old friends from the past, especially the baseball players. They had like a page and everything, anybody to form a baseball player, so we all had, chats with that. And I got in touch with an old friend of mine. His name was Joe. And he was telling me stuff about baseball. He didn't play baseball. He was like almost a professional bowler. And he played baseball, but not on a competitive level. We used to play stickball when we were kids and shit. So I got in touch with him again. And we were talking all the time and everything. It was nice to get in touch with my friend Joe and everything. Now, let's fast forward now to October 2000. And well, let me say this. Let me go back. I'm sorry. Let's just go. This is a very crazy story about a guardian angel. In July of 2010. Okay, now I did not know anything about my son's mother. I did not see her until the year 2010. 6 years would go by. I still thought about her because I liked her, and every once in a while I would go to the bar where she hung out to try to find her. I knew that was her spot, but I either just miss her. I was trying to find her. She was always in the back of my mind. There was something about her. I never stopped thinking about her through the years, right? And I could have looked her up on Facebook. I didn't think about it. I didn't even know her last name at the time, but I never did. So let me just tell you how this all begins. In July of 2010, I was working at the Fort Hamilton Army Base. Okay? That's all the way where they filmed Saturday Night Fever. And that whole area, being its mob tube, was all mobbed up. Like, you go into a bar at lunch or you go into a bar after work, the bartender would be reading a newspaper and wouldn't even fucking acknowledge you. You're standing there, I'm taking some peanuts, and the guy is just reading the paper, turning the paper like this, and I'm fucking standing there. And I'm waiting a minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. I'm like, this fucking guy kidding me? I don't realize that they only want people in there that they know. So I'm literally standing there, and I should get the hint that I'm a former street guy, but I've never been in that area. The guy's just reading the paper. I don't even fucking exist, right? Now all of a sudden, a guy comes out from the back with the fucking guinea tea, the fucking cigar. Watch another fucking Soprano movie. I'm like, oh boy, look where I'm at, right? I'm not thinking this is where they filmed. This is Bay Ridge, Brooklyn. I don't know, at the time or whatever. Here comes the fucking guy. This is July 2010, a little mob tube story, whatever. July 2010. The guy smoking a cigar and he's like, can I help you? What are you doing? I'm like, I want to get a Coors Light when I'm in a bar, no? This ain't your bar. Where you from? I go, I'm working at the Army base. You in the Army? I go, no, I'm an electrician in Local 3. Oh, you're in Local 3, huh? Are you guys working over there? What do you want? I'm like, I want a Coors Light. He's like, we don't serve people we don't know. You fucking, and he starts fucking patting me down and shit. I'm like, you a cop? Undercover cop or something? I'm like, bro, watch another fucking Donnie Brasco movie, bro. I'm not an undercover cop. I'm a fucking electrician. Just want a beer. No, not here, bro. Maybe another time. Hit the road, pal. Alrighty then. Fuck these people. Alright, so there you go. There's a mob tube. That's a mobbed up bar in Bay Ridge, Brooklyn. Watch another fucking Soprano episode, bro. I never go back in that bar again. I just wanted to share that. It's fucking funny. That shit really happens, right? So, in July of 2010, this is how it all begins of this crazy fucking wacky love story. July 2010, I am on the subway, subscribers, on the New York City subway line after work. I have my head down, and I had really long hair at the time, and I was back into the gym, and I was all jacked on juice. I look like a fucking, the ultimate warrior like I do, right? I have my head down, my hair's all fucking down, I look like a fucking freak. All of a sudden, I get a tap on my shoulder. And I don't even look up. I go, don't fucking touch me, bro. I got no fucking money. Don't ever fucking put your hands on me. I don't look up at the guy, right? I don't look up. I have my head down. I'm beat up. I'm tired from work. I'm aggravated. I'm thirsty. It's the summer. I'm hot. I'm all fucked up. I'm in pain, right? And I got my head fucking down, and the guy tapped me on the shoulder. And I didn't look up. I just said, don't fucking touch me, bro. And I got no money. He's like, no. This is not about money. I'm sorry. I just want to tell you something. I go, what the fuck is it, bro? I'm not in the fucking mood, man. Just keep going, bro. I'll knock you the fuck out, man. I'm in no fucking mood right now. No. I just want to tell you something. Do you know you have guardian angels that watch over you and protect you? I'm like, oh, here's a fucking weirdo. Now he's one of these fucking religious weirdos, right? I'm like, I don't know, right? Now he's starting to, like, talk to me, and he's like, yeah, you are very blessed. I don't know how to tell you this. I don't really do this a lot, but you have such an amazing aura about you that you should be so grateful. Your aura is so strong. These guardian angels protect you everywhere you go. You are so truly blessed. So now I'm like, I'm not looking up at the guy. I'm like, listen, I do believe that. I do believe that. I do believe I have guardian angels. I totally believe in that. And he's like, listen, I didn't mean to bother you, but I want to tell you something. And I'm like, what is it? He goes, your life is about to change forever. And you don't even fucking know it. Your life is about to change forever. And I can't tell you what it's about. I'm going to go home and I'm going to pray that this happens. Because be careful what you wish for. It just might happen. So I'm like, now I go to fucking look up. At the time the train stopped, people were getting off the train. I don't know who told me that. I never looked up to see who he was. So I'm looking at a bunch of people getting off the train. No one's looking back at me. I'm like, what the fuck was that? I never saw who said that to me. Now I know it had to be a human being, right? It had to be a human being. It wasn't really a guardian angel, was it? I'll never fucking know. I don't know who said it to me. Now the voice sounded like an African American voice, that I'm pretty sure that he was African American. And I saw African American people, but I don't know who it was. Obviously it was somebody, right? Obviously. I'll never know. Your life is about to change forever, and you don't even know what's about to happen. Keep that in the back of your head for a second. Your life is about to change forever, and you don't even know what's going to happen to you, but it's going to change forever. And you should be truly blessed that this happens. I look up. I see people getting off the train. Was it one of them? I never saw what he looked like. Gets off the train. I say to myself, I don't know who said that to me, and I wonder what's going to change forever, but maybe it was a guardian angel. I'm like, that's probably a good thing, I hope. I put it in the back of my head, and I forget about it. Now, let's go to October 2010. Okay? This was July of 2010. I have not seen Jennifer for 6 years. We are now October 2010. Now in October 2010, I was working in Staten Island. One night after work, I went to a karaoke bar. I did karaoke. Okay? Got drunk. I did karaoke. I sang karaoke with a particular girl. I got that girl's phone number. I called that girl. We went on a date in Central Park. Then we went on another date. So technically, I had met a new girl in October 2010. We went on 2 dates and we were talking. Now keep in mind, she just got divorced from one of the biggest contractors on Staten Island, New York. Her husband was loaded, and she was divorcing him, and she was getting millions of dollars. I am a single guy with no responsibilities. I meet a rich woman. We're gonna travel. She's gonna pay for it. Absolutely, I hit the fucking lottery, right? Maybe I'm thinking, maybe this is what this guy meant, that my life's about to change forever. I met a millionaire woman. We're gonna go traveling together. She's gonna pay for it. She liked me. I thought she was cool. She looked like the Sex in the City, one of the girls on Sex in the City, the blonde one that was always horny. I don't remember her name, that character. She looked like her. She was attractive. Wow. My life's about to change forever, right? I hit the fucking jackpot. Now, this is where the story turns crazy. On Facebook, I'm talking to my friend Joe, okay? He calls me up in around the second week of October. A tragedy occurred, okay? One of my baseball teammates that Joe was like really close to, and I was close to back all those years ago. He was my baseball teammate. His name was Ronnie Bin. Ronnie Bin was one of those people that when I died and was playing baseball was in that dream. You want to call it a dream, you want to call it heaven. Ronnie Bin was there. Now, Ronnie Bin is known for, he's one of those kids that always got everybody pumped up. He gave all the fucking speeches and everything before the games and everything. He was a rah-rah type of guy. What happened was, Ronnie Bin unfortunately, subscribers, was driving his kids to a soccer game in early to mid 2010 in October. Ronnie Bin had a heart attack. He passed away at the wheel of his car. He was able to get the car off the side of the road. His young children, I think he had two girls, called 911. He said, call 911. And Ronnie Bin passed away. He died, taking his two girls to a soccer tournament on the Garden State Parkway. He died. Joe was telling me this story, what happened. I didn't know this happened. I felt horrible. Jesus Christ. What a fucking nightmare. Jesus. Right? He passes away. Now, he passes away, and it's a very part. He doesn't pass away. I do not run into my son's mother, what I'm about to tell you. And keep in mind about that guardian angel. Your life is about to change forever. Now we go to October 17th, 2010. It was a Sunday. I did not go out Saturday night. I was supposed to go to Staten Island and take the girl I was seeing on a date. I didn't feel good. In fact, something was telling me I didn't really want to go out Saturday night because Sunday I wanted to bet football all day and go to the bar where I would run into Jennifer. Now, part of me saying that's Jennifer's spot, maybe she'll be there on a football Sunday, okay? Now, keep in mind, Joe had told me all the baseball players are going to be going to that bar on October 17th, a Sunday, 2010. They're all going there. So part of me is like, let me go talk to the ex-baseball players, talk about the old days, let's have some beers. So in my mind, I didn't want to go outside next. If I would have went to Staten Island, I never would have went to the bar that Sunday. But deep down, something's telling me I'm going to run into her again. I don't know why, but I'm thinking about her. When I have this millionaire girlfriend, where if I just went out that Saturday night and never went to the bar that Sunday, I do not have a child. Now keep in mind the guardian angels. What did he say? Your life's about to change forever and you don't know it. So I go to that bar and I bet football and I got there early, okay? Now, my father said, come home at 4 o'clock to watch the Jet game with me. I was living in New York at the time. He's like, come home, you're here, please watch the game with me. That's what a father and son does. I was like, Pop, I'll be home way before 4. I'm going there early to watch the 1 o'clock games. I'm gambling, I'm making tons of money, I'm drinking. Guess who calls me at about 3 o'clock or so? My friend Jimmy. Jimmy's going to be, who could play Jimmy in the movie? Andrew Dice Clay could play Jimmy. He was like Andrew Dice Clay. There's the phone call all the time, right? My friend Jimmy, what the fuck are you doing? I said, I'm out in the bar, man. I'm hitting big. Are you hitting them today? Because he would gamble too. Yeah, I'm up like $2 grand. What are you up? I'm up like $4 grand. I'm having a fucking day, bro. You gonna go watch the game with your dad like you always do? I'm like, I don't know, probably go home and watch the game with your father. Will you fucking stop? Your mother's gonna get pissed off. You're gonna get drunk. You're gonna get yelled at. I don't want to fucking hear it. Blah, 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 blah. There's the phone call from Jimmy. Do I go home? Do I go home and listen to Jimmy? That fucking phone call. He always calls at the fucking right times. You know, go home, bro. Cut it out, right? I don't know, man. It's only 3 o'clock. Let me see if I hit this game and I'll go home and watch the Jet game with my dad. Oh, just go home, bro, and stop fucking getting drunk. You're a fucking idiot. Click. The phone call. I did not listen to Jimmy and go home and watch the game with my dad. If I did that, I don't have a kid. So, I'm watching the games. 4 o'clock rolls around. The Jet game's on. I got big money in that game. Blah, blah, blah. Talking, shooting shit. It's now 5 o'clock. I still haven't got home. It's 6 o'clock. I still haven't got home. It's 7 o'clock. I still haven't got home. The Jet game's over. Go the fuck home. It's 7 o'clock at night. Maybe Jennifer will come in here, right? It's 7 o'clock. go home. She's not coming in. I won $6,500 fucking dollars. The Jets won when Santonio Holmes on a 4th down, last second play, he got a fucking, people that know football, he got a pass interference call. They punched it in with like, they get one more free play, punched it in, Jets win. I end up winning that day $6,500 in cash that I will pick up during the week. So I'm $6,500 richer. Excuse me, it's 7 o'clock at night. What the fuck else is holding you back? Just go home now. I put my drink on the bar. I am about to finally go home. I'm not going to become a father, right? My life's not about to change forever, right? As I put the fucking thing, the beer bottle on the bar, I fucking take a cigarette out and put it in my hands. I'm going to smoke outside. You can't smoke in bars. As I'm walking through the crowd, hey, Frank, hey, what's up? Oh, shit, what's up, right? You know, people, hey, what's up, right? I'm stopped. I know what you're thinking. It's my son's mother, right? No. I am stopped by Ronnie Ben's younger brother, Stephen Ben. Ronnie Ben passed away. Who keeps me in that bar for just a few more minutes? If I don't see Stephen Ben, Ronnie Ben's younger brother, I walk out, light my cigarette, get in my car, go home, call up my millionaire girlfriend. Sorry we didn't go out last night. I'll make it up to you. In fact, you buy me something, you're rich, right? Got a millionaire girlfriend. My life did change forever, right? Everything's great. Single bachelor with a millionaire girlfriend. Now, part of me was saying that millionaire girlfriend's husband was a big contract on Staten Island, but he also was. It says mob tube. It was connected to a certain American Italian soul culture. I will not say the name. That scared me a little bit too, kind of telling me I don't know about this girl. I don't need to fucking get one in the back of the head, even though they were divorced or getting divorced. They weren't even divorced yet. So, Ronnie Ben's younger brother, Stephen Ben, stops me. I tell him how much I love Ronnie, how much Ronnie meant to me as a teammate and a baseball player. Your brother was one of the best, one of the greatest guys that ever lived. And he's saying, thank you, Frank, that means a lot to me and everything. And we're talking and talking and talking. Now, if it was a movie, guess who starts coming into the bar now? It's like 7:30. Stop the music, play a certain song. Whoever's gonna play her in the movie, right? You set the scene. She walks in. It's been 6 years. 6 years. She looks at me, I look at her. I think to myself, I've been looking for you for 6 fucking years. What the fuck kept me in this bar? The death of Ronnie Ben, running into Ronnie Ben's brother. Here she comes, strolling in like if it was a movie, right? She catches my eye, I catch her eye. She sits down at the bar, she orders a drink. I start talking to her, how you been and everything. It's been 6 years. I buy her a drink. We start talking. Now, we never did anything yet, you know. We would stay there about an hour and everything, talk. 2 hours go by. I never went home, huh? I never did go home that night. Lo and behold, we go out after there. We get a certain place you go to. We play Monopoly and checkers. And you want to say the rest is history. Think about that. Think about all the things that kept me in that bar. Let's go back to the guardian angel in July. Your life's about to change forever and you don't even know it. Oh, I'm dating a millionaire girl with a mobster fucking ex-husband. That all went out the window on October 17, 2010. 2 weeks later, I get a phone call. I'm pregnant. You're what? I'm pregnant. Subscribers, I'm going to end on that. Think about that. Think about that story I told you. The rest, they say, is history, right? My life is about to change forever, and you don't even know it. That guardian angel knew I was having a son. Everybody, all the best and God bless. I am the one, the only. A father to a beautiful 13-year-old boy named Anthony Gerard Fratello. All the best and God bless. I'm the one, the only. FGR Productions. Have a great day, everybody. God bless. Peace out.